welcome to HBM Mod. Last episode we did something, but today we're going to be making some of that dineutronium stuff or whatever. Actually I've already made it for the episode. We gotta make the dineutronium compound plates or whatever, but first I gotta show you that I finished this section. Look at this. Look at this, dude. I got the floors finally finished in this section. This is gonna stay as it is. But all this is finished, which is nice. This section still needs to be finished. Basement for the actual oil setup is finished. And now, there's a new extension to this, which we'll get into in a second. One of the things that's really useful is that we now produce chlorine here, which is amazing. And we produce all of the energy actually goes into our main storage now. So our RTGs are now producing like 1.79 million HEs per second, which is a lot. Pretty good. For RTGs at least. And they're running actinium, which is good. Also, as you can see, this one is actually just running those and not actually running at all because it's clogged. But these other ones are running actinium, which doesn't decay as fast as polonium, but is also almost as good as polonium, which is, oh, it's 50 versus 20. I mean, 5 of these guys gets you to 1 of, or to 4 of these, or 2 of these guys. So, I mean, these are still pretty good compared to cobalt, which is actually 15, but very cheap and inexpensive to make, and lasts forever. Versus these, which are now down to 89%, which is every time they go down, they decrease their power level, I think. Or do they? I don't know. Current heat level? Okay. Oh, and if you want to know how much they give you, then Cobalt 60 is 150 HE per tick, Actinium's 200, the Polonium is 500, it's the third place versus Gold and Lead, which are, of course, going to give you the most. Lead 209 is way too expensive for RTG pellets. So, what is this room that I completely missed or skipped over or whatever? Well, welcome to the fusion room. This room is making fusion stuff, and I'll go ahead and walk you through how this works. Basically, it all starts right here with engine lubricant getting turned into paraffin wax, getting sent through the sky, chlorinated with chlorine from a chlorine tank over here with a chlorine pinwheel, which probably should let that charge up. But anyway, that makes the actual chlorinated petroleum wax for making ionic gel. Ionic gel is made with liquid hydrogen and water and ionized particles, which you can see in here. I have a system that every time we have one of these chlorinated petroleum wax, it will send out one of these guys this way and the other one goes that way, because it makes 2 chlorinated petroleum wax. So I have like 4 guys going through this way to make all this stuff, the ionic gel. I think it's 4, I don't know. But it always stays even. So and this guy makes hydrogen and oxygen. Why? Because, well, oxygen, we produce it over there, but we do that through the deuterium process, and we don't really need to use deuterium anymore, because now we've automated our actual helium-4 setup, which is the main purpose in ionized particles, might I add, is just helium. So, I mean, there's other options, isn't there? You can make that with stuff and things, but, and that's the disposal system for hydrogen or engine lubricant. You can see I've got this tileable setup here. When these guys get too full, it should get to the point where it dumps. How is this tileable? Well, because this guy is always going to be 1 lower than this guy. Unless this guy has charge. But even then, if his charge doesn't match this guy, then this guy, yeah. So unless they get to the max length, they won't hit these guys and toggle them on. Which they toggle on through this thing right here, which is a staircase kind of. So it is 15 blocks, but it's in like, I don't even know, like 7 blocks of the space. It would have to be 15 blocks, unless you want to dispose of both of them at the same time and keep them at the same level. Not sure about that. I would have to test it. The best recipe for making the stuff is to take tennessine and cobalt, or no, not cobalt, plutonium dust, and whack the tennessine with plutonium dust. This will give you the most antimatter of any recipe because of how high density this tennessine is. Tennessine is next to oganesson. It's 117 then, because oganesson is 118, isn't it? Fact check that, please. Go check that. Okay. So let's see. Dineutronium, dinusorium, yeah, we're gonna need to make some of these compound plates today because these compound plates, they do go into... Whoa, what is this? Stabilizer lens. I don't need that. Rubbish. Get it out of here. So I need to make these. And these. We need spark blend. How many of these do we need? We need 16. Which is a lot. But we can do it. We're also gonna need to shred some euthenium. Dash. Bunch of stuff. Spark blend, I think... No, maybe you can mine it with the asteroid miner. I don't know. Asteroid miner can give you energium, which is nice. And nitanium, I think. Which is also nice to have. Oh, let's see if we can make this. Maybe we'll get euthenium capacitor someday. That would be the future. We have our energium. We have our... 4 euthenium. That's fine. I think I'm saving the other euthenium ingot for something. I don't know. Dash. This is a Doctor Who reference. Dash. Why is it Doctor Who reference? It's a reference to the one episode with the dude. Oh, I think there's most of them. But it was this guy on like a spaceship or something. I don't remember. Yeah, I need to shred all this, please. Perfect. Bingo. And this is the spark blends which we need to make. Now, do we need spark blend for the other part? I think we do. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. That means I gotta make more anti-strontium and stuff. Because I gotta make more dark matter, I think. Because, but I'll show you how I'm solving the dark matter problem. So to make more dark matter, I'm just making more chlorophyte. Why? Because I'll make a new particle accelerator for dark matter. That recipe, basically our particle accelerator is too good. And it costs so much energy to make a lot of these recipes that, well, it's because of how big it is. It costs all that energy that it shouldn't cost. Because the particle accelerator eats all the energy you shove in it. Which makes sense. So anyway, dash compound plates, right? We need, or these dineutronium compound, dinosorium compound plates. We need to make them. And so now we need to make them. Dineutronium compound plates, right? So we're gonna take these guys. We're gonna go to our dineutronium anvil. Dineutronium. Dinosorium. Compound plate. What are we looking for? Compound plate. Perfect. You can make bismuth ones. We're gonna need 16 of these. And then we're gonna need 16 of other things. Which, how the heck are we gonna get 16 of the other things? Plus, we're gonna need more of these after this. So, if we total up how many we actually need, it's probably a lot. Probably a boatload. Holy crap, that thing costs 16 of these? 16? And people make... I've seen one person has made this before. There's only one person in this world who I've seen has made this. How do you... 9 EHE. Okay, why would you need it to receive an energy signal? Very interesting. Power detector. What's the point of this? I'm very confused. Are you going to tell me more? Or no? Okay. Anyway, we have our first two of the thingies. But we gotta make a lot more of these, and that's gonna be an issue. So let's go ahead and get started making some of that dark matter stuff. We need to make antimatter first, and then we gotta start up the fusion reactor because I need energy. So I think I'm gonna start up the fusion reactor, make the antimatter at the same time, because it doesn't cost any energy for us to make these things anymore, I don't think. I think it doesn't cost much energy. I think I need to test it. Where does this thing connect to the power grid? I don't think it takes too much energy to run this guy, so I don't know. We'll find out. So tennessine goes into here. Plutonium goes into here. And look at that. It maxes out at 8,500. It's going to go ahead and make some antimatter. How much antimatter do we have? We have 270. It goes up to 570. Perfect. Amazing. Which, that is one of the best recipes for getting it. This stuff can be turned into wadenium and then australium, which is actually kind of okay. I mean, if you don't have australium and you need it for fuel. Although I feel like the cost of this is too much to make it viable for producing Australian fuel. So let's go ahead and make a few of them. I want to be on standby just in case something goes wrong here. This guy's got 0 water. He's got a lot of water. He'll be fine. What is this guy doing? This guy's maxed out his steam. These guys are maxed out on their steam. What the heck is this? How is this even maintaining at 8,500? It used to consume basically a giga HE for each operation, but due to the fact that we've increased our process time down to like 25% of what it used to be, and decreased our consumption down to 30% of what it would used to be. So let's go ahead and start off. It'd be 700 million HE without this guy, but then we're going to have to divide that down to like 4. So 700 million HE divided by 4. Let's just go ahead and do 700 divided by 4 to get the answer, which is going to be 175 million HE for each operation, which is pretty... I think the math is right. I don't know. I have no clue. But that is pretty good for energy production. Well, antimatter production. Antimatter is expensive. Well, it used to be. Now it isn't. But now we got antimatter capsule. We're going to need the 3 hydrogen capsule. If the math is right, then this guy will tell us that it's using about 16 kilo HE per tick, which is actually nothing. That's actually nothing at all. 300 something per second, which makes sense because it would be about 300. Well, how the heck is it doing 16 kilo HE per tick? That makes 0 sense because it should be about. Well, I mean, I guess it must have shut down while I was down there. Okay. Well, we'll never know how much it needs, but it doesn't need a lot, clearly. I mean, that's pretty impressive, I think, that we've got our actual cyclotron to the point where it doesn't need much energy at all. I am very happy with this. To produce energy, the best way at this stage of the game is helium-4 and oxygen. It's cheaper than balefire antimatter. That one will be very expensive, so it's best to use that for just like making thermonuclear ashes, which I believe it makes. If you look here, it does make the thermonuclear ashes, which you need 4 of those for making these guys. And then those guys can go into those. But how do you get to balefire rocket fuel to begin with? Well, you just... What? Wouldn't this be, like, unlimited, basically? You get 8,000 millibuckets of this stuff, which is pretty good. So you just kerosene plus balefire shard, and then this process can become practically unlimited. Well, I wouldn't solidify it, but you can turn it into fusion plasma to get more thermonuclear ashes out, which effectively means that you'll be able to make even more of these guys. Of the balefire egg shards or whatever. That's pretty interesting. We might have to do that. Although the antimatter is the expensive part, because antimatter can only be obtained through the cyclotron or the particle accelerator, although one of those is cheaper than the other. This guy. And, I mean, this guy can produce a lot of antimatter, but you have to be doing the right stuff for that. You have to be producing, like, I don't know. It costs a lot of energy to do that kind of setup versus this, which costs basically no energy. So, that doesn't seem right. 52.74 million HE. How is this guy getting 2 million HE per tick? That makes 0 sense unless I've connected this guy somehow to the power grid, which would hopefully not happen. Hopefully it's not an issue, because that could cause all our energy to get deleted from existence, but let me see about that, actually. Right, it's getting plus something in there. 6.7 million HE, which would be what he's consuming up there. That's pretty high. Although it might be some other machines running, which is causing it to be so high, I don't know. Oh, it is, it's the drill. Because I decided I need more steel. Forever. Basically. Oh, and it's all of these guys. Which are apparently stocked full of iron. Oh, crap. Ridiculous. Wow. Alright, so I bet once we run our fusion reactor for long enough, we'll get enough power for the particle accelerator, which will be fine. This guy is producing steel right now. Why? Because we need loads of steel. Endless quantities of steel. Right, we got like 2 crates here. We have a couple crates at the base. We're going to have even more crates once we're done. In fact, I made a stack of crates just because I needed a stack of crates. Not sure why. Maybe I should start using mass storage units for this. Yeah, I've also been preparing to build a second fusion reactor. Why? We don't even need a second one. And that's actually a very valid point, because we don't even need a second one. But I'm preparing to build one anyway. I've got a bunch of this stuff from the spaceships. That's right, I've been to 5 spaceships, and I've collected like a stack of those magnets and then, or magnetic coils or whatever, and then almost definitely enough for the actual plasma heater and the other thing, because those spaceships contain a lot of those pieces. They also contain PWR pieces, which are, and there's like 2 of them per each one. There's 2 of the zirconium thingies, and then there's 2 of the actual other thingies, I think, which are cooling channels. They're like blue. I do not need to make this into anything else. This is perfect. Go set it back to round mode. Quickest way down the stairs is to not go down and try to jump onto the green thing. Do not cut corners there. Now, this, we're going to need to make the... Wait, that's not dark matter. That's a muon. Oops. My bad. And there we go. We got our antimatter, our thingy, and our other thingy. Perfect. Anti-shrubarium. Going to put it into the thing. Empty it out. Then we're going to make these guys again. We're going to go ahead and make the circular thingy. Boom. Alright. Run these through the circular thingy. I just don't think one fusion reactor produces enough energy, I don't think. We probably need even more energy, which is ridiculous. I think I want to set up a massive radiolysis facility, because they produce so much energy for some reason. Actually, they produce like 500 HE, don't they? If you get the polonium ones, they produce 500 HE. So, I mean, for every actinium pellet we put in it, that's 200 more HE to our production, right? And they can store, like, what, 10 of those? So that would be 2,000 HE per radiolysis unit, which is about as much as you would get from a battery. But batteries are infinite. And that'd be a gold 198 battery, which gives you 2.5. Although, the gold 198 can also be ran as a pellet and gives you mercury as a byproduct. It's pretty short-lived, so maybe it'd be beneficial to do it with those. These guys are maxed out, apparently. How the heck is that happening? Wow. But due to their short lifespan, it's like not as beneficial as running the other thing. I don't know if we're going to do a radiolysis plant or not, but it might happen. Might happen. It's a very unlikely chance, but it could happen. Let's see. Is this guy? Yeah, he's set to the correct thing now. He's turned on. Circular mode. Firing. Production is completed for the dark matter. Boom. Now what do? Well, we take the dark matter and the thingy, and we combine them together. Some of our plutonium from back in the day when we used to get trick-sighted and turned it into stuff. That's right. We're gonna be using some of that again. Also, if our actual reactor does end up, our fusion reactor explodes, for whatever reason, I'm basically covered because I have all the stuff to repair it. Except for the cast plates, but I could probably still repair it. As long as it's not the central magnets, I could probably repair it. And the reason it might explode is if this guy goes down. The only reason it could explode is that. Or if I leave it in, like, chunks that are not loaded or something stupid, but that is not likely. So, I think we'll be covered as far as that is concerned. Bzzz, this thing needs to go zap, zap, zap. It looks like some photon magic is going on in there. Some balagna. This is some alien technology. It's going brrr. Unit 01. So spark batteries are the worst part of this, probably. I'd assume they're the worst part. Although, it seems we might have even worse parts ahead of us. So, where is all the spark energy powder that I had? Or energy blend, or whatever it is. Because I think I'm gonna need some more of that if I want to make these. And I think it'd probably be down here in my bins. Let me check. Oh, there it is. It's been hiding. Right, so now we got this. And we gotta get some of the stuff from upstairs again. Okay, so we got 8 of these. We got some energy powder. We get 8 of the dash stuff. And then we're gonna need probably more of these. The whole thing costs spark energy powder, which is gonna cost a lot of particle accelerating. And I don't really want to do all that. So, I'm not. Not right now, at least. Oh, right. I already have my dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Weird that this is a combination of dash and euthemium. Very interesting. Why is this? It's a good question. But we'll never know the answer. Put all those in there. Oh, crap. We're only going to be doing this one group at a time, I guess. Do all these guys in there. Perfect. I could have done them 2 at a time, both, like, with the dash and the euthemium powder in there, both. Alright, so we're not making anything dangerous, which is fun. Well, not right now, at least. So, awesome. There we go. That is the spark batteries. Uh-oh. We don't have enough for all of them. That's a bit of an issue now, isn't it? Well, I think we actually do have enough for all of them, but I'll have to go get the stuff for that, which is upstairs. So, right, so what we need for this is gonna be up here. We're gonna need another spark powder. We're gonna need this guy, and this will give us the last 2, because we're too short, I think. Right? Or wrong. Probably wrong. Do we have a crate for these? I can put these in a crate over here. Boom, 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 boom. You think these are hard? Then the FENSU is going to be harder, isn't it? That thing is ridiculous looking, but I think this will be fine. Yeah, so we should have enough now to make it. There is another way to get euthemium, which is from clusters, and I wouldn't recommend that. The best way is to just get the watch reactor set up. That will keep you constantly supplied with euthemium. And now we have enough to make the last of the batteries. I told you we'd have enough, but we're going to be basically broke next episode, where we're going to have to make even more batteries, aren't we? Well, not really. I think next episode is just taking these guys and then putting them all together.